Hi, I'm Jim Eskin, founder of Eskin Fundraising Training. I thoroughly enjoyed leading the advancement programs of 3 institutions of higher education in the San Antonio area. This gave me the profound privilege of working with many of our community's most respected and accomplished business and community leaders. I was struck by the depth of their commitment to the belief that education is the surest path to prosperity and a brighter future. But also, too often, they had a near crippling fear of fundraising. While virtually fearless in the rest of their professional, civic, and personal lives, they are terrified of raising money for causes they are so devoted to. The larger the amount, the greater the fear, especially in face-to-face settings crucial for major gifts. Time and time again, they said they'd be willing to contribute to success in just about any other way, but not resource development. This deeply rooted fear and reluctance intrigued me, so much so, as I pivoted to my dream of going out on my own, I decided to focus on this challenge and this challenge only. The past 6 years has provided the opportunity to work with nonprofits of all different sizes, sectors, and parts of the country. This exposure to a much broader slice of the nonprofit sector served to deepen my understanding of the challenges and opportunities related to fear of fundraising. After leading more than 250 workshops, webinars, podcasts, and board training sessions, I've reached conclusions on how professional and nonprofit leaders can and should confront fear of fundraising, which is holding back the progress and potential impact of their organizations. My perspective on meeting this challenge can be summarized in the following 10 touchstones. Number 1, more than anything else, nonprofits suffer from a fear of the unknown. The stark reality is that too many haven't experienced a genuine solicitation for themselves. They are much more familiar with the passive act of receiving gifts self-directed by donors themselves. While getting gifts this way is better than no money at all, it is far different than intentionally and strategically soliciting donors by asking for a specific amount, purpose, and timing. Number 2, passion for the mission is a superpower. More than elaborate print or digital collateral material, nothing influences an outcome more than power and conviction of those making the request. This necessitates that solicitors make personally significant gifts themselves. The board and staff, from their daily engagement, are strongly equipped to articulate why their cause is so compelling. Fundraising is an extension and natural conclusion of such passion. Number 3, successful resource development is the result of much more than asking for gifts. Board members, non-development staff, and volunteers can play hugely essential roles by simply identifying prospects from their networks, breaking the ice, and introducing them to the mission, and thanking donors for the generosity. Making thank you calls to donors with no other agenda than expressing gratitude is a terrific way to introduce reluctant individuals to resource development work. When it comes time for making the ask, other leaders and professional staff skilled in this role can step in and do so. Most of the challenge is gaining the donor's prospect time and inspiring them in recognizing how their personal values, priorities, and visions of a better world align with the mission of the nonprofit. Number 4, like in other disciplines, success depends on learning new processes, practicing, and rehearsing. It's crazy to step into any high-stakes venture without being prepared. Yet all too often, nonprofits wing it. While a word for word script might not be required, leaders must go into a solicitation with a keen appreciation for time management, absolute clarity on who is going to say what, and especially make the ask. For precisely this reason, we practice role playing solicitation in our training sessions. Number 5, another high return activity is having board members and volunteers new to fundraising accompany those who are competent. This pulls the curtain back, giving a bird's eye view of the flow and chemistry of an effective solicitation meeting. Number 6, cogently define what sets your nonprofit apart from all the other good causes. Never for a moment overlook the dilemma facing donors who are forced to make excruciating decisions, not between the good and the bad, but between the good and the good. What can your nonprofit say about how it touches, improves, and saves more lives that America's other 1.5 million nonprofits can't? Number 7, fundraising and good communications are seamless. In other words, you can't tell when one stops and the other begins. Be wary of overwhelming others with facts and figures. To a growing extent, stories make the difference in conveying the personal impact of your nonprofit on men, women, and children. Number 8, prudently invest in training. For sure, I'm biased on the subject, but training pays handsome returns. It's a big part of being prepared. Consider bringing in an outside specialist. Management, board, staff, and volunteers should all receive training. This builds on the reality that it takes an entire nonprofit village to champion and reach its true advancement potential. Number 9, reject the notion that negative responses mean gifts won't be possible. The donor prospect, in turning down the request, might be implying, not at this time, not for this project, and not for this amount. You can continue communicating and cultivating so you can return with a recrafted request based on the feedback you receive. Number 10, being turned down is far from the end of the world. Successor fundraisers are used to hearing the word no. You can't solicit gifts without risking donors declining. It is never personal, and when necessary, you move on to other donor prospects, knowing that you have made the best possible effort to champion your cause. I heartily disagree with the notion that people can't take rejection. Leaders in all fields to produce desired outcomes are going to risk being turned down. In fact, hardly a day goes by in which I don't hear the word no. Here's the bottom line. Fundraising is part science and part art. The better you know the science, the more creatively you can practice the art. Fortunately, there's ample research, data, and case studies to guide us in fruitful elections. I've observed countless professional and volunteer nonprofit leaders overcome fear of fundraising by their commitment to learn, practice, and continuously become more comfortable and confident. They understand that the stakes are much more profound than their personal egos. As a result of their courage, patience, and diligence, each and every day the world is improved and much needed assistance is provided, especially to those who are struggling. It's a privilege to share this information with you, and we hope you find the contents of value. Have a great day.